Hey y'all, welcome in. Welcome in. If you are new or just passing through to my channel, welcome. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. If you're returning, welcome back, squad. I am here today to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here. We're also gender fluid. I may say you and I'm talking to them. I may say them, I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid, so I could be talking about the recent, past, the present, or the future. Take only the parts that resonate, leave the rest behind. If you'd like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all of my information is below in the description box, and I invite you to join me for a session. I believe I got like one more day left of this month, and we're coming down to the wire. I literally can't believe that this year just flew by the way that it did. Like, it just flew by, and here we are approaching Christmas. Flew by. I hope everybody is doing good and feeling good. I'm recording a little bit later than usual because everybody is home and my day has been definitely not going the way that I thought it was. So figure I'd get in where I fit in as well. Try to smash in a collective reading before we get to the weekend, because I know my weekends are going to be heavily impacted. I'm going to be busy, so we're going to do this reading and get something out. We're going to use the triple deck, and we're going to see what Spirit wants to talk about today. All right. Thank you guys so much for continuing to rock with me. If you've been here for a long time or whether you're new here, I appreciate you either way. Thank you for all the likes, shares, subscribes, for helping me grow the channel, like all of it. I appreciate all of it, and I appreciate all of you. All right, let's get into it. Okay. Damn. Well, we got some masculine energy out here. And he appears to be very unhappy communicating as such. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not happy. Whatever I've been pursuing or trying to accomplish, whether it's trying to accomplish at all, I kind of get this sense that there's a masculine energy here who, you know, anytime I see the Ten of Wands gives me the energy automatically of people pleasing. And remember, we've talked about the 60-40 rule. There's usually 40% of whatever the burdens that are being carried that are not actually yours. So, this feels like somebody coming to a place. Now, mind you, you know, gender fluid, so it could be a woman. I mean, this King of Swords is actually a woman in this card. So, I mean, it could be either or. This is just really about someone being very honest with themselves, taking a very healthy approach, looking at a particular situation or several situations. This could be somebody, you know, assessing their life, the things that they do for other people, what they do for themselves or don't do for themselves, and making a decision that, you know, I'm not really happy with what I have going on. This is really not the way I wanted my life set up. And although I'm really kind of confused, I'm going to grab one more card on this end card because I'm really... Okay. You know what this feels like? It feels like maybe somebody's coming to... Like, there's like something coming to a head where this person, whoever you are, taking a really healthy assessment of how you feel about like your life and the trajectory. It's funny because I had a client reading earlier, and I remember mentioning the alignment to one's 10 of Cups. But in order to be in alignment with your 10 of Cups, first you need to understand what that 10 of Cups actually looks like. What does it feel like? What is it that you truly want for yourself? And then if you are not in a position or you're not seeing the reality of what you perceive your Ten of Cups to be. If it's not being reflected back to you, then there's some adjustments that need to be made, okay? And so I see here that there's somebody at a decision point here where it's kind of like someone needing to like trim the fat, you know? And I think this person has come to the point of, I'm talking like I'm speaking about somebody else, but this could be you, literally, because these cards are in the upright. So I feel like I'm talking to collective. You're at a decision point right now, and somebody, it almost feels like very unsure of what needs to get cut out. Or who. You know, it could be a who, what, or a who, but this is definitely about, I want to say it's about really honoring how you feel. You know, if you're in a place, if you're finally at a place where you're like, I just want to be happy, there might still be some things that, you know, that need to be kind of dropped and eliminated, left in 2025, you know, and top line, we're there. We're here now. Okay. I'm like, I'm doing a box spread. This box is gonna be really big because I took it over one extra card. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Somebody here is having some difficulty in making this decision. I kind of feel like you're ready for some new adventures. You're just ready for a new experience. And it is going to require you to... Now that's interesting because I heard draw a line in the sand. But it feels more like there's a very... like a strict, and I'm speaking very carefully. I'm choosing the words very carefully because I'm allowing spirit to just kind of channel the energy for me and tell me the words you want me to use because I'm stuck here. You may be making a decision. I'm like, whoo. You may be making a decision to draw a line in the sand, and it does involve maybe relationships or connections or situations that you have been linked to, connected to for a very, very long time. And these connections, whether they are people, it could be a job, it could be a few things. Like I'm kind of picking it up in a couple of different areas, because what's all connected here is mind, emotions, and the length of time. All of these things are very much connected in this particular decision that someone is making. Okay. Wow. Yeah. And I also think it kind of took you a long time to get to... It took someone a very long time to get to this decision making point where you're recognizing how, you know, you've continuously showed up for situations, and if this is friends, I'm not necessarily getting like a family dynamic per se, but maybe this is connected to an experience where, say, these are like longtime friends or something like that, because I can see that too. Where you've always been, you know, you ride or die, you know, you show up, you're very generous, you're not gatekeeping, you know, you're there to share information, because I do see somebody here who shares information. Like if you have a love of learning, I have somebody here who has a love of learning. And it may be that the environment that you're in doesn't support, like, I don't know, it doesn't support that need to learn, like the need to experience something new, like where you've been or who you've been around. It doesn't actually support that need to learn. Like they don't. So okay, so I'm gonna use this example. It's kind of like having like a whole group of friends. I remember, like, I know a couple of days ago y'all were some of y'all were confused about group A and group B and friends. I'm kind of tapping into this energy right now, because that's what it looks like. So maybe you've got a group of friends, and say you've known them for a really long time. You got love for these people. These are you know, it's my boys, my girls, like whatever. Like you've been rocking with them for a long time, right? But out of the group, you might be the one who's like has a thirst for knowledge. You like learning stuff. You like experiencing new things, and your friends are kind of like, we're good with our lives the way that they are. And because you have a strong desire to like learn and experience and expand your life, and these people do not, right here it kind of feels like, you know, and I feel like you've tried, as you've grown and experienced and all these things, I can see where you've tried to even impart some of this knowledge on, you know, the people around you, and it just doesn't feel, you know, like maybe these group of people are just not receptive. They're not receptive to it. And so down here it feels like kind of took the long route to finally get to the decision point of saying, you know what, something's got to give. And maybe that's why we're getting this sense of feeling, you know, this is internal disharmony for me. It's like, you know, maybe at one point, like, this group of people was like, this was my life, you know. But then the sense of restlessness, because some of you may be going through this transition, because, like, remember what I said? I've been saying this, and I'm going to keep on saying it till it's like ingrained in your head. Certain blessings are still being withheld because we are still like loosely connected to people and situations that we need not be connected to, because God knows your heart, and God knows that if this blessing of abundance, like I said, abundance in all forms, if this blessing of abundance is given to you, some people that do not belong in your auric field or in your life will be right there in line looking for their share or their portion of your blessing, and the blessings are for you, right? For you. And there's this very extreme weight. It feels very weighty about, you know, it's heavily on your mind. It's causing you restlessness. And I think what you're looking at is, number one, the length of time in which you've been connected to the people, or the experience, whatever this is. It's like the length of time, and it just doesn't feel like it isn't growing, and you have an interest in, you know, learning. And, you know, you, like I said, you have a thirst for knowledge. So you want to learn stuff. You want to know more things. You want to try stuff. You want to experience new things. And in order for you to have these experiences, there are some things that have to be left behind. And I think that's probably what the struggle point is. These people, or this connection, or whatever we're talking about, it is connected to past experiences. Like, you know, maybe you've known these people since childhood. Yeah, look at that. Maybe you've known some people from childhood, or you've just known them for a really long period of time. Damn. Like whoever I'm talking to today, somebody is really, really unhappy. Yeah. And I'm using my triple deck, so some of the cards are like kind of repeating themselves, like in different angles, and it's kind of like driving the point home. It's like these people that you're connected to from your past, they're legit not interested in learning anything new. They're not interested in learning anything new. They are the same. And it's not so much that they, you know, it's like you've changed. It's not so much that they have changed. They are who they are. You know, that's the Ace of Swords. That's the truth. That's the reality. The reality is these people don't have an interest in actually changing, and there's not a whole lot that you can do about that. You've given them options. And for you, again, we're back down here to making the decision. Do I stay or do I go? Do I continue to foster these relationships? They're really not going anywhere, and they're not benefiting me. I'm not growing. I'm not getting anything. I know it sounds really crazy, but like, I'm not getting anything out of this relationship, but like, I really don't feel like you're getting honestly, the way that it looks, it doesn't feel like you're getting anything out of the relationship, especially because you seem to be on this expansion kick, And so if you are in an expansion, you're in this mode of being expansive and learning and all of this and that, and the people that are around you aren't really interested in doing the work, because the kind of expansion that we're talking about, I can see it has required work, and it's taken a long time for you to get to this space. And so, as I always say, everybody got the same 24 hours in a day, and this is absolutely, I can see it. It's requiring you to really, really look at your connections and look at the people around you and determine like what stays and what goes. Now, this row here, it quite possibly could involve family. It could also involve people that are connected to your family as well. Now, I do have an interesting energy out here, and I wouldn't normally look at it like an ego thing, but you cannot be in the mindset of like, everybody gets to go. Like, everybody goes with, like, because I feel like at some point, maybe, because I'm seeing you're being shown the reality. You're having, I don't know whether it's like an epiphany. I don't know if it's like, something that you're visually seeing, but the reality is, maybe you thought that everybody would be on this, and we're all different, but everybody would be on this evolution kick. Like, I'm growing, and maybe, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm thinking that as we progress in age, that we should always be evolving and growing and learning and all that. Like, that's part, I feel, that's just my opinion, but I feel like as life progresses, we should still thrive or continue to, because I think that allows us to thrive by continuing to learn. Like, times change, circumstances change, so it's kind of like, I don't necessarily have to raise my kids in the same way that I was raised, because times have changed, circumstances are different, and so I don't need to do them the way that maybe my parents saw fit to do with me, right? So here it kind of feels like, maybe you never thought, that's it, maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe you never really thought that, you thought maybe we'd all grow together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll all grow together, and we'll all learn these things together, obviously in our own time, but, together. And the reality is what you can see very clearly. I think maybe at one point too, you potentially could have been not lying to yourself, or it almost feels like a little self-deception. I don't know. It's okay. What I just heard was you thought, and then you thought wrong. So it's kind of like the way that you were thinking of this, maybe these people, this group of people or whoever, you thought wrong, and it's been weighing on your mind very heavily. But there's a reality of, not everybody can go where you're going. And so for you, I think it's more about accepting the fact that, there are some folks that you have around you who are not really interested in learning anything new. They're not interested in expanding their lives. They're perfectly content where they are. And with Virgo in the South Node, it's basically like, yeah, that's fine if that's what you want to do. no shade, no tea. Like, hey, I'm not going to judge you for where you are and how you want to be and where you want to stay. That's cool. You got to do what you got to do. But Pisces North Node, I got to allow some things to kind of fall away, because Pisces is not only about like listening to your intuition and, leaning into your spirituality, in the North Node 12th house, but it's also about really looking at the situations that do play a part in your own self undoing. And so if you are trying to take these people with you where you're going, that may be a part of the self undoing that you have to kind of like release. You can't save everybody, especially people who are unwilling to, have no desire. Like, I'm seeing it in a couple of different places where it's like showing you, it's like God shining a bright flashlight on particular people and situations in your life and saying, I need you to look here and look there and look there. Those things cannot go with you where you're going, because they have no interest in going with you. And it doesn't have anything to do, it's not against you, has nothing to do with you, because we're all on a different trajectory. We're all in a different, we're all on different timelines. We all got our own journey. And some folks just want to, they're comfortable where they are. And if they're comfortable where they are, sometimes you just got to be okay with leaving them there. You got to be okay with leaving them there, even though it ain't necessarily what you wanted to do, and you didn't necessarily want to have to make these decisions. But if we're really being honest with ourselves, you're not happy. You're not happy. And this literally could be like, this could be connected to work and or relationships. If you're not happy in a particular space or situation or a group of people, it is being shown to you. Today is the new moon in Sagittarius. Today is the new moon in Sagittarius. Mostly affecting all the mutable signs. So if you are recognizing places in your life where just it's just not doing it for you anymore, it's time to manifest a whole new reality. What is it that you want, and what does that look like? And start moving towards that. Okay? All right. Yeah. Because here's the thing. You can't keep investing time. This is part of it, because I feel like there's an element here where you keep pushing forward, but everything in it, you don't like it. You're not happy. The reality is you're wasting your energy. Now, 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yes, we talk about reap what you sow and, all that, right? But the other element of this card talks to me about your ability to look at where you are placing your time, efforts, and energy. Like, is it worth the effort and time? Like, yes, sometimes we got to be patient with folks, but at some point, when do you acknowledge, okay, I've exhausted myself in this one area. I can no longer I can't sustain this. I don't want to do this anymore. At what point do you acknowledge that and then make the decision? Because right here is a decision point. At what point do you stop trying to persevere? Look at that. Holy shit. So I don't know who we're talking about. I'm like, strong boundaries. You got people in your camp that are not team players. That's the reality. And you're seeing kind of like the cracks in the foundation, that while you may maintain this very perseverant, you maintain this perseverant energy of like, you just want to push through, and we're just going to keep it, it's a poor investment of your time. You're not going to be able to sustain it. And then it still results in you being unhappy. By you continuing to try to put action towards it, it's a waste of time. We'll just call it what it is. It looks like a waste of time. And so this is interesting. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Okay, so let's talk about this part. Remember when I said you got somebody in your camp you got a couple of energies out here that are definitely pointing to the fact that you got some people around you that are not team players, right? I have energy out here of, because right here, I feel like there's either some dishonesty. I don't know. This down here feels like dishonesty, and then you being placed in a position where you got to defend yourself over like things that so people are talking, and then this is you trying to defend yourself against the things that have been said about you, right? Like being very now you got your guards up, and you're feeling a little guarded and protective. But you shouldn't have to be placed in positions where you feel like you got to defend yourself, especially if these are people that you, like I said, you've known for a long time. You've invested a lot of time and energy in these relationships. And the reality is, it doesn't matter which angle. I'm like, every single time I go angling down and like all these lines and directions, it always points back to the fact that you're not happy with a certain group of people or in a certain environment. You're just not happy. You're not happy, and you continue to try to, like, you keep trying to push it along, but you're pushing along with people who are just not interested in, they're not interested in learning, growth, expansion. They're not interested in none of that stuff. And so again, we go back down here, Two of Wands in the upright to Two of Wands in the reverse. You got to ask yourself, like, I know this is, I can see this is not something that you ever anticipated to happen. You never thought this was going to happen. This was never part of the plan. But a decision needs to be made. You can go, seek your expansion, which leans you towards the future, or you could stay stagnant exactly where you are and be stuck exactly where these people are stuck. And if that's not what you want, I mean, I think you know what the answer is. Yes. Okay. I'm telling you, there's so much evidence and signs of the fact that you got people here, and okay, and if you do make a decision to go, wow, look at that. Ooh. I'm like, ooh, but I see it. And even if you decide to part ways, honestly, I mean, this has been drawing to a close for a while, so I don't feel like you're, like, while you have been, there's a little restlessness because, it does have something to do with how you feel, so your mind and your heart are kind of, but the reality, when you face the reality that, like, you're on this trajectory and you're trying to learn new stuff, and I think you really want to be surrounded by people, or be, in the company of other people who are like you. I'm like, this is loaded. Now, okay, I have another thing here. Damn. I'm like, the Ace of Swords is out here 3 times. Okay, listen. Yeah, you've. Okay, here's what it is. Remember how we've talked about wavy boundaries? I'm like, very last card, I was like, I'm a wavy boundary. Okay, so here's the thing. Because I think in some respects, I have an energy down here of, like, kind of someone on the fence about letting something go and just letting it fall by the wayside. Like, there's no need to hold on to it anymore, right? But then here, it's like making excuses. Right here feels like making excuses, even though, and I think it's clouded judgment. I mean, here's the truth, but I feel like this down here is kind of like clouded judgment on one hand, because on this one side, you're kind of like, I still got love for these people. Even though, I'm looking at expansion, you don't have to defend yourself for making this decision, because I feel like there's somebody who's really toiling with, do I walk away from, do I drop this? And I have to say this, just because I know it's going to come up in the comments. For the most part, a lot of us have made so many cuts in our lives where there's really not many people left. Well, there's really not many people left. So if this is not specific to people, it could literally be like a job, workplace. It could be an environment. It could be something that you've been working on that you just no longer have a love for or appreciation for. Like you're not into it anymore. It's something. It could also be something like that if it's not specific to certain relationship dynamics. And mind you, not once have I mentioned romantic. So I don't want you jumping in my comments talking crazy about, well, I'm single and I've been single. I ain't said nothing about a romantic relationship, because this doesn't feel like a romantic relationship. None of this feels romantic at all. It doesn't feel romantic at all. It definitely feels like, maybe you got some old friends that you still, you holler at them every now and then. You may holler at them on Christmas. You may shoot off a Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving text, but they're not people that you really like. You don't really fuck with them like that, but they're around, and if you do go around, you're not around them all the time. But these people, there's somebody connected to you, but you're really looking at the situation and you're just like, this ain't it. I mean, I was like immediately off this line, this ain't it. And now you're being faced with the reality, because it's kind of like God shining a light on all these different areas, because he's trying to get your attention and say, okay, we're going into a new year, and you can't take everybody with you, because everybody is not trying to come with you. Okay, even though you're loving and you're generous and you want to support everybody, you can't. The reality is that you can't. And so there are certain cuts that need to be made, and I can feel it. You're very troubled about it, mentally and emotionally. You're looking for the best way forward. And honestly, I want to say it kind of starts with, kind of standing up for yourself. And I'm not really looking at this Six of Wands as, I kind of feel like the victory and success, this feels more internal. Like finally coming to a place of, because I feel like even when you make the cuts, because there will be cuts, there will be cuts. I mean, as we go down, there will be cuts. But down here, it's going to really require some discernment on who gets the cuts and how you do it. Now, the interesting thing is, I do have the energy out here like making cuts without actually communicating them. Like, I don't know, maybe you just dip out. Again, this is very consistent in the last couple of readings. Like maybe you just kind of fade into the blackness and you just disappear. You're not in a position to try to defend yourself. You're just like, this is what it is. And I don't even get the sense. It's funny because while you do feel some kind of way, you ain't hurt. I'm like, when I get down here, you're not hurt. And I think the biggest reason why you're not hurt is because you're aware of the fact that these people, it could be a few people, it could be 2 people, it could be 6 people. There are some people here that you are recognizing that they're not team players. They don't really fuck with you the way that you fuck with them. Like, they don't show up for you like the way that you would normally show up for them. And it doesn't really make any sense to hold on to these, excuse me. You have a connection here that is tied to your past. That I feel like on a superficial level, it's like you maintain, I don't know who this may be. I mean, I don't look at the court cards as people, but if I had to look at it as a person, you may have a person here in your life that operates at a much, I don't know, like this is somebody that you can't, remember when I said up here, I'm like, you're a learner. You like to learn things. You like to know things and expand your mind. You have somebody down here who is not about that life. Like this is very surface level. This is a surface level person. And it's interesting because whoever this person is, they may also have a drinking problem. This person may be a heavy drinker. They may be a heavy drinker. Okay, so now that's the other thing. Now I'm looking at this too. If this person that you're, because this is the same person. So if you're dealing with somebody, if you have somebody in your life who may be a heavy drinker, say you're no, maybe at one point that was one of your common bonds, like y'all used to drink together, go hang out, party, and do whatever, right? Where you are now, because you're doing all of this work on yourself and you're trying, you're working on yourself, right? When we get down here, if at one point you were drinking heavily with them and say down here you're no longer in that energy, like you're not, everybody, we're all doing all these, we're adjusting our lives, and we know that alcohol brings your vibration down very, very low. We're not doing that. So if you stop drinking, it's almost like protecting yourself from being in certain environments, because it's not conducive to what you're going, like whatever you got going on for yourself. Being in an environment where you got people that are drinking, like especially if, like I know for myself, like I spent a good portion of my early 40s, like my early 40s first half, I was probably drinking myself stupid, like a lot. And from my late 30s into my early 40s, I was drinking myself stupid. And when I made the decision to stop drinking, I had to kind of stop doing the things that promoted the drinking, which meant, I couldn't, there were certain family members I had to kind of pull back from. As much as I love them, that side of my family, heavy drinkers, and I just couldn't be around it. I knew when you're sober and everybody else around you is drinking and they're sloppy drunk, and it's irritating. Like, it's irritating. So I couldn't bring myself around those kinds of environments, and I had to like adjust myself, and just not be in environments where I knew that kind of behavior would be happening. Like I didn't, and I'm not the kind of person that goes to I'm going to a function and everybody's drinking. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. So, and I'm not going to tell people, don't drink, or, slow down, or, you shouldn't drink so much. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to remove myself, I'll show up and I'll drink water, and then if it starts getting a little too much, then and I'm a smoker, not a drinker, so I'm like, if the alcohol thing becomes too much, then I'll just go, and I don't need to hang out. And luckily, that side of the family, they stopped the drinking shenanigans. As much as we were drinking, they cut back, so I can go back and hang out without having to feel pressured or feel the sense that I have to participate in the drinking in order to be around them. So there may need to be, like in this energy, there may need to be a little bit of distance, and it doesn't necessarily mean not, how I am about, like, well, the past is the past, we done, we walk away from it, we're done, we don't look back. But in this instance, if you got a group of friends or people that that you fuck with, and you've been hanging out with them for a long time, and like I said, you got somebody here who's not a deep thinker, they're very surface level, they like the appearance of keeping up with the Joneses, they want to be looked upon as, like kind of like a leader or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, this person is not, they're not like you. I'm like, they're not like you, So, I mean, the way the cards are doling out, it doesn't really feel, I don't feel like you're even in separation, because I do feel like there has been some energy connected to this person where there has been some betrayal. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to lie. There has been some betrayal. And either way, it's still, the cards are still saying, when I angle down and up, it's still saying you gotta let it go. Especially because this person isn't interested in being, they're not interested in like changing. They're not interested in evolving or learning anything new. So I don't feel like you're gonna be very hurt. Your feelings aren't gonna be hurt just simply by distancing yourself. It is what it is. Some things, they run their course, and when it's done, it's done, and you can just walk away and be like, hey, I hung for, however many years or whatever. And this part of my life is actually over, because when I stopped drinking and I cut certain people off and decided, I didn't want to do that anymore, child, I ain't never seen them people again. And I don't feel any kind of way about it. I don't even feel the loss. I'm just like, whatever, it is what it is. I'm like, I don't know if I like this energy. I'm really curious to know who this person is for you, because I want to know how they show up for you, or how you perceive how this person has showed up for you, because I don't actually see it, because the cards that are connected to this, and it's a masculine energy, the cards that are connected to this person feel it. I don't know. I kind of, if you're looking at this clearly, and I think that's why you don't feel any kind of way about like letting it go, because I don't feel like this person, number one, they are connected to this lack of team playing. This person is not a team player. And I don't actually see the effort on their part. This is the thing that I want to, this is right, the reason why I'm like down here. I don't feel like you feel any kind of way distancing yourself, because especially if you're choosing no longer to work with this person, because I don't see this person actually trying to work with you. You know what I mean? Like I said, they don't have any interest in evolving or growing or expanding or anything like that. And they just like the benefits of you being, around. I don't know, like, maybe this is, this is you withholding. This is you withholding. It's interesting the way people see you, though. Maybe. Okay, so let me grab these last three cards. Okay, so maybe this is somebody, I don't know who this person is for you. And again, I know their masculine cards literally could be a man or a woman, because we're gender fluid, and men can operate in feminine energy, and women can operate in masculine energy. Okay, so it could go either way. What the hell? Yeah, and it just keeps, I'm telling you, it just keeps repeating. It's like they like the, whoever this is, I don't know who this is. They like the benefit of being connected to you. It kind of feels like clout chasing. No lie. It kind of feels like clout chasing. It's weird. It's really weird. And then here's you. Maybe normally you're very, because this almost kind of comes off as being, like, maybe you kind of come off stoic. You come off stoic, like a person of few words. You know a lot of shit, but you come off very stoic. But I feel like people are curious. It's interesting. People are kind of curious about how you make your money, or how much money you make. I don't know. It's kind of pocket watching like. But they see. So I don't know how you live. I'm just, speculating. But people can see it because it's out here. Like, it can be seen. Like, you seem to look like you do pretty well for yourself. It's like you do well for yourself, but you don't really talk about like what you do or how you do it or how you make your money. So it's perceived that you're kind of like so it kind of comes off like you're guarded, like people perceive that you may be a little guarded or whatever. But there's somebody here that just is very interested in about how much money you're making, how you make your money, how you do what you do. And then there's some confusion about, I heard what's true. Because there is some energy out here of somebody like lying or like gossiping about how you do what you do or how you, because there isn't this line right here. It feels very much like maybe, I don't know, you get some kind of accolades or whatever. You appear to be successful. You appear to be successful, but there's some questions or confusion around how you make your money or how much money you make or what you do, maybe what you do for a living. Maybe there's some confusion around what you do for a living. And then I don't know if people are feeling some kind of way because you don't share. I mean, that ain't nobody's business. Honestly, it's nobody's business. It's nobody's business. Actually, I'm going to keep clarifying with this deck, and I'm going to hold off on the major arcanas for right now. And then I have a line down here where it's kind of like I have somebody here who's like spinning a story or a narrative about you. And you know what it is? Whoever this person is that's like bad mouthing you, they don't really know you like that. Whoever this person is bad mouthing you, I don't think they know you like that. They don't know enough about you to like be an authority figure. You know what I'm saying? They can't, like, yeah, they can talk about you, but they're talking like out the side of their neck and half truths and shit. Especially if there's a dynamic here of somebody, especially, this ain't for everybody, but if this is regarding your family, this could definitely be somebody in your family talking shit, spreading misinformation. Doesn't necessarily have to, and if it's not somebody that's in their family, it could be like somebody you've known for a long time that they feel like family for you. You know what I mean? But whoever this is that's like talking trash, it's like they see you and your glow up, like you just got this air about you, right? But it's not arrogance or anything. It's not even ego. It's like pride in yourself. Like you have pride in yourself, and this person's over here talking like, you know, they're talking this yin yang about you. And there is just really about your, like, because they don't know enough about your life, so they can only speculate. They don't know how you make your money, what you do for a living, or any of that, but they're speculating, and they're spinning a narrative to other people, and it is connected to this man over here, because it's on the same line. So it literally could be him down here telling, you know, talking shit about you, but then spinning their own damn story. Okay, you want it to come out. Yeah, you just, and I think you may have been ignoring your intuition when it comes to, because I feel like, you know, when you start feeling restless, that's honestly, I think that's a byproduct of your intuition that's screaming at you, and you're kind of rejecting it. Like, you know, you're getting these intuitive nudges and you're like, nah, you're kind of gaslighting yourself. You're like, nah, that can't be it. Yeah. What I say, you love to learn new shit. Like, you love to learn new shit. And I think intuitively you also know that there's something here that is just not in alignment with you anymore, and it's time for you to take action. And the other thing is too, this is what people see. They don't like your confidence. You wear your confidence, and it's kind of like mysterious. Remember I said down here, like if they're talking about like how you make your money and what you do for a living, they don't really know what you do. They don't know how you do it, how you acquire your stuff. You just pop out and you got something new. You know what I mean? Like they don't like that. They don't like that. And yeah, it just doesn't feel like. I feel like this is it's time for you to admit to yourself, because I kind of get like you're apprehensive about making this decision. And it just at this point it's just it doesn't, this doesn't make for like a stable enough environment for you to continue to maintain the connection. You know, you may be a very dedicated and loyal friend, but you know, you got to re-examine some of the people in your camp, and some of the people in your camp they not as down as you are. They not as loyal as you are. And so you can't keep everybody around you. Yeah. And you know what the thing is, like I said, you've been, yeah, okay. Oh. I'm like, oh. What are you worried about? Okay. I kind of feel like, you know how I talk about that reference of like the gif of Homer Simpson, you know, like leaning back into the bushes. That's kind of what this whole row looks like that. And in the just over here in the center, I feel like you're kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like, do I communicate that I'm about to do this, or do I just not say anything, not talk about how I feel, not, because I do think that maybe you have expressed how you feel up here. And maybe you've expressed it and just is, you know, it's fallen on some deaf ears and they're not really interested, nor do they really care. Honestly, I'm gonna say they don't really care. Okay. And I feel like this is time for you to kind of honor your intuition. And really, if it's time for you to cut certain things off, because for me this feels like this is Mercury and Sagittarius. If you're thinking about cutting communication with someone or someone's, like it doesn't have to be just one person, it could be a bunch of people. I think you're doing it from a position of, it's kind of odd right here because it does require you to take action. And down here you may be a little bit worried about how it's going to be received, or how other people are going to receive it or perceive it. Damn. I'm like, damn. Yeah, so the reality is that there's this relationship or relationships, it could be a few people, you know, it doesn't have any legs. There's a loss here, and there's no new opportunity. Damn. Yeah. And I think you probably suspect that other people, I don't know, are you on the fence, worried about how they're going to be receiving it? This feels to me like you just need to go off and find your happy. Because the environment that you've been in is not supporting the happy. You know what I mean? It's no longer, it's like facing a reality, and it just keeps, I'm telling you, as more cards I pull, it just regurgitates the same message. If you are not happy in a particular environment with a particular group of people, it is time. Stop worrying about it. Because with every ending comes a new beginning. I think that's the one thing that you may be overlooking. When there is an ending to one thing, it is the opening of the door to another thing. So allow it to fall away, because you already are not happy. And yeah, while they may, and I think this right here feels like maybe you're kind of kicking yourself because you haven't been paying attention to your intuition. And I'm telling you, that stuff starts in your body. Your body screams at you before anything is visual. You know what I'm saying? Before it's visual, you're going to feel it in your body. So if your body is screaming at you like, hey, I'm not happy here and this is not cool, you got to honor that. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. Don't let your brain take over, you know, like right here. Don't let your brain take over. Because then you get caught in this loop of just constant rumination. Don't do that. You already acknowledge the fact that I'm not happy here. And if I want something to change, I got to do something about it. I'm not happy. And it's not for the other people here to create happy for you. It's for you to create the happy for yourself. But what does that entail? And the other thing is, again, I'm always going to talk about this. I'm always going to remind you. The 10 of Cups is ultimate wish fulfillment. What does that look like for you? What does the 10 of Cups mean to you? What does ultimate wish fulfillment look like? And what do you need to do to achieve it? Because it's very clear to me right here, you cannot achieve it with this person here. This is a masculine energy. You can't do it with this person. Could be two. I have two distorted masculine energies out here. This could be the same person or it could be two people. And I also have a distorted feminine energy out here, but you know, switch the roles as they need to be switched. But in order for, it's kind of like down here, you need to face the reality of what it is. You have a couple of different people in your life that may be a drain on your nervous system and your pockets maybe. And it kind of hits a bunch of different areas. It's like a drain on your nervous system, a drain on your pockets, a drain on your mental space. Like they're hitting all these different places. And we're coming to the point where it's like you just gotta put an end to something. Yeah. And focus on yourself. Like focus instead of focusing. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, 9 of Wands in the reverse. Baby, when I say I love the 9 of Wands in the reverse, I love the 9 of Wands in the reverse. Like, stop telling yourself, like right here with this, stop talking yourself out of this shit. Okay? I need you to, instead of being worried about how it's going to be received, start focusing on the things that you actually value and not focusing on the things that are of no value to you. If you come to the point where you're like, I'm not happy here and I'm not happy with this circumstance, I'm not happy with these people, I'm not happy with this. If you know that, then the only person that can put an end to it is you. Right? So you got to strategize. How are we going to do this? Number one, I need you to start listening to your intuition. I need you to start listening to your intuition. Okay? And then when you turn your attention onto the things that you actually value, that's when life turns around and things start to flourish. But you have to redirect your attention. Especially if you spend any length of time ruminating over situations that seemed a little bit confusing for you. Like, don't spend a whole lot of time there. Don't. Because that right there keeps you from actually moving forward. That keeps you from moving forward. Yes, look at you. Happy. I love it. Yes, put this shit to rest. When you're finally able to make the decision to make the cuts where you need to cut, yes, then leave it there. Leave it there. Don't spend it, don't spend a whole lot of time trying to focus on the things that make you unhappy. And you know what? And if people are unhappy, I don't like this energy because there is a lot of like weird confusion shit over here. Okay. Because right here in this center part here, does have an energy of somebody wanting to win at all costs, but I feel like because if you had attempted to do that in the past, like I said, like whatever you've been attempting to do, this feels very much like having to figure out that there's certain instances where there's just no winning. There is no winning. And the more you push, the more unhappy you get. And the crazy part about it is you don't even like it. Whatever this is, it's not what you want. It is not your wish fulfillment. It literally is not your wish fulfillment. So you need to align yourself with the things that you do find value in and focus just on that. And I want to say, you might want to kind of, I mean, you probably already, because I see that here, you probably are very, like I said, you're probably really private anyway. Keep doing that. Keep it to yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing, keep it to yourself. There's no need for you to, yeah. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. It's like how many times it's like telling somebody that you're not really happy with the circumstances, or you're not really happy with the environment, or you're not really happy with the relationship and the way that it's going, and then you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and the shit doesn't change, right? Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Because you can't fix other people. You can't change their minds. You can only focus on you and what you do. So at this point, it's kind of like you just got to take your hands off the wheel. Take your foot off the gas. Let it do whatever it's going to do. Because it's funny. If you're the kind of person like, you want to see everybody win. I'm that way. I'm like, I want to see everybody win, but you also have to realize that not everybody, like, they say they want to win, but they don't want to do the things required to win. You can't take those people with you, because what they will do is they will actually slow you down. They'll muddy the water, and then they'll slow you down. You don't have time for that. So for down here, you got to get real clear, because I do have somebody here that's kind of spinning some weird ass narratives about you. In order, I don't know, it's weird. Now let me hold on. I'm like, let me look at this, because down here it feels like you got somebody spinning a narrative, and this, I said, there's like a little bit of confusion about like who you are and like, how you present, and you have this air about you, and I don't, like I said, it doesn't feel like ego. It feels like you just pride in yourself. It's just who you are, right? Very private, but there's pride in who you are. But this kind of feels like somebody like spinning a narrative to like bring you down a couple notches, right? Because like I said, this person over here is very surface level, and they're only worried about appearances and appearing to have and be like, here I am, and I got it like this. They like that shit. They like that appearance, but you don't come across that way. You come across as very humble. You don't need a whole lot of fanfare. You don't even need a whole lot of support. Like you do your thing, but you have somebody over here still connected to this man. So very well, like this, I always say, men can be bitches too. So this could be the same thing. Because there's a woman over here and there's a man over here. So like I said, but swap the roles if you need to. But there's somebody over here that's kind of spinning a narrative about, who you are and what you do, and like you come across as very grounded and stable, and people don't understand how you got there, what you've been doing with yourself, because it ain't none of their business. But you got a lot of people that are chit-chatting about it, right? And the crazy part about it, you ain't even thinking about this shit. Like, you're not even, so like, I really wouldn't worry about this background chatter. I really wouldn't. Look at you. Yeah. Okay, now this is interesting, because this kind of feels like, remember when I think I said it a couple of days ago, it's like you got people who are like really down here again, really looking into, like, if you're on social media, like I said, I do get that you come, or even if you are on social media, you might not post a lot. Because it feels like I said, you're very closed off. You're kind of closed off in that way. So you hold it very close to the chest. Like whatever you have that is of value to you, yes, it's hold whatever you have of value to you, and that's what it is. I think some people think, I don't know, like they think that you're almost like you're, not that you're phony. I don't know how to describe this. It's not that you're phony. It's not that. It's just because you're not as transparent about your life. Like you got really strong boundaries about, and I think, and part of you having those strong boundaries is it's a protective thing. It's like you're protecting what's yours. You're protecting what you've created. So you prevent yourself from losing it, under nefarious reasons or whatever. But you got somebody down here who's like genuinely asking questions and looking into you, because you're very stable, you're very grounded. Like I said, you may have somebody, like you may not post a lot on social media, but you got somebody who's like looking at your social media and you appear to be very happy, like happy and unbothered, and they feel some kind of way. You got somebody here that definitely feels some kind of way. Especially because you may not be put, like I said, this could be a few people. This may not just be one or two people. Like there could be a few people, because I do have a number of people out here. But you got somebody here who's just like, they're looking at your socials, and their feelings are kind of hurt because they see that you're good without them, that you don't really need them, and that you're happy. Like you're happy doing whatever it is that you're doing. Who's at my door? Oh. You're happy doing whatever it is that you're doing. And so, Lucky, it's Amazon. There's a package on the porch. Yeah, it's somebody here. It's interesting. There's somebody here. Now I've spread it out a little bit more. Remember when I said over here there's like a mother, like not a mothering energy, but there's a feminine energy. Now I have another card that clarifies that. It is kind of like a mothering energy, not necessarily your mama, but somebody who is a mother. There's someone here who is having a really hard time with the fact that you aren't dealing with them. You're not paying any attention to them. You're not thinking about them. You have drawn, like I heard, remember I said earlier, I was like, I heard a line in the sand. Like you've drawn a line in the sand. You're not interested in crossing that line. And if you walked away from this person, it kind of comes across like somebody who just doesn't know how to, like, they don't want to leave your energy, or they don't know how to walk away. But this is a different energy here. Hold on. There's confusion, but then there's clarity. I'm like, because this is, and when I say confusion and clarity, it's like confusion in one card, clarity is right next to it. So I feel like I think you, collective, you're very clear. And I think whoever this is, well, this isn't the upright, so this is a positive energy. And it literally could be the same person in this card. So, I mean, they're all kind of connected. Interesting. This also kind of feels like, okay, follow me here, okay? This feels like if you, and again, we start off with positive masculine energy. So we're going to start there, okay? So whether you're a man or a woman, you're operating in a very balanced masculine and feminine energy, okay? So we'll start there. Down here, if you are partnered, this is for people who are partnered. I don't want to hear you in my comments about, I've been single for, then I ain't talking to you. If you're partnered, you remember a few readings back where I said, and it's probably like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and there was a part in one of the readings where it was like, if you're, for those people who are partnered and say, you know, you got your partner and then you got your family, right? The family you came from. And where the person who had gotten with their partner, the family viewed the partner as like a threat to the family. Like, you're taking my son, my daughter away from the rest of us, right? This kind of looks like that same energy, but again, it doesn't have to be like a mother or whatever, but this is somebody like connected to you potentially in a familial kind of way. And it almost feels like somebody trying to be in direct competition with like your spouse or something like that, which is fucking crazy. But it feels like somebody trying to be in like some type of weird, and it's right here. It feels like somebody trying to be in direct competition with your partner, and it comes across with like a guilt trip thing. Like, it's a weird, I don't know who this is for you. This is a weird ass energy for me. Even in describing it, it feels really, really weird. And there is this strong family energy that I'm getting here, right? So like, literally could be like a sister, or, you know, an aunt, or mother-in-law, or sister-in-law, or sister, or, you know what I mean? It could be anybody. But this feels like somebody who's kind of like in competition with your partner, because they feel like, you know, it's your partner's fault that you don't come around, or you don't provide for them, or you don't do whatever because of your partner. And that's not it. It's because you're making a conscious decision that I don't want to participate. I just don't want to do this. And they don't believe it. I'm telling you, this is a very bizarre energy. Tell me how it resonates for you in the comments. I'm like, it's a weird ass energy. It's a weird energy. But down here, I definitely feel like you'd be much happier by just simply putting it to rest and making a choice. Especially, like, I have two angles. It's like there's a family situation or something that you know, it could be family, could be work, could be friends. But right here, there's definitely a need for you to listen to your intuition, because your intuition is screaming at you. And if there's folks that you got to cut off or distance yourself from, you need to just do that, you know. And if you choose to communicate, then great. If not, then don't, you know. I mean, everybody does it in the way that's most comfortable for them. I don't necessarily think it needs to be a grand announcement, you know. I just stop talking to people. Like, literally, I just stopped talking to people. I just don't have time. Sorry. Especially for folks who ain't talking about shit. And every time a conversation comes around, it's not, you ain't talking about nothing, but you talking about what I can do for you, or how I can help you, or how I can be of service to you. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not doing that anymore. So don't think that it is like down here. This kind of feels like, for me, somebody cutting off communication. I see it in a couple of different places, but this one right here strongly, like, you know, you may not have planned to do it this way. However you're doing it, this may not, you know, and I can see you know, this ain't a decision that you know, you're happily making, but, you know, for your own peace of mind, there's some people that you would have to distance yourself from. And I feel like once you do that, you know, while everybody may not be happy, you will. You'll be happier. Because down here, I'm kind of like, why are you here? Every time I see the Eight of Cups in the reverse, why are you here? I always hear that when this card flips. I'm telling you, every single time the Eight of Cups flips around, I always hear, why are you here? Why are you here? Because you're not actually emotionally supportive to me in any kind of way. So why are you here? Why are you here? And then, okay, so whoever, because I have another energy over here. Okay, let's follow the line of thinking. Why are you here? there is this energy right in this corner that talks about like, I want to say it's like emotional manipulation, but it's because of like a familial connection. So like if you're related to somebody and they like pull on your heartstrings because we're family, child, no. Because the way that I'm perceiving this is that whoever this person, you got a whole ass liar out here. There's someone out here who not only is they're not emotionally supportive to you in any kind of way. It almost feels like fake love. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. It feels like fake love. It feels like fake love. And then they come in and they love bomb you with all this, oh, I love you so much, and da da da, and they don't really give a shit about you, but they don't give a shit about you, but they like your resources, or they like the benefit that they have of being connected to you in some kind of way. Same thing with this person down here. Like whoever this person is, if this is like a friend or something like that, whoever you've known for a long time, they like being connected to you. Remember when I said cloud chasing? They like being connected to you because of like who you are and how you represent, the pride that you carry in yourself. Like it can be seen. Other people can see it visually on you, the energy. And there are certain people that just like being connected to you because of who you are or what you represent or whatever. It makes them look good. Okay, let's use the majors. Yeah, no more dismissing your intuition. Okay? I said no more no, the queen and the high priestess jumped up. No more dismissing your intuition. When you feel it, trust it. Okay? I want you to trust the way that you feel. Yes, step into your own power, because and whoever this is, you do have somebody who's watching you. You do have somebody who is like looking into you and watching you. Hold on. You know what's interesting? I don't know what you're doing in your life or how you're showing up, but somebody doesn't feel like it's okay. Thank you, Spirit, because I wanted to point out too. You have been breathing life into a dead relationship for some time now. For some time, and it's high time that you create some change. And like I said before, in order to create change, you have to be the change that you're trying to create. Yeah, because whatever this relationship has been, or whatever these people, whoever you've been dealing with, it's been out of balance. There's no harmony here. Yeah, it's time for you to jump into your new cycle and not be afraid. Listen to your intuition. Your intuition has been screaming at you. Okay, so this feels like I'm trying to figure out who this is connected to, because this feels very much like there has been some level of toxicity within your life, but again, it's connected to this Nine of Wands in reverse, so we're not doing that. We're cutting that out. We're no longer tied down to or connected to things that mean to do us harm, that are just one-sided. Yeah, and that's the thing. Whatever this is, whoever you've been around, it's like y'all don't talk about the same kind of stuff. Like I'm telling you, you're looking for expansion, and you have people that are just wanting to. This is like very clout chasey, codependent. I'm trying to latch onto your coattail because I see that you've got some things going on, and I'm trying to figure out how do I fit into the scenario. And then being disappointed when they realize that they've been removed or cut off or something like that. Yeah, so this kind of gives me like a no contact. This kind of feels like no contact. Ooh, the world. Like, well, there's the cycle completion. Because you've learned your lesson. You've learned all you needed to learn. And I think really where this is, where the world stands, the world, the Nine of Wands in the reverse, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Hermit. This for me feels very much like you finally come to a place where you have matured. You recognize that maybe some of the people that you've been connected to have not. They have not evolved or matured in the way that you have. And now really what you're only interested in is focusing on the things that you find value in. I like it. I like it. There, I don't know who, and okay, if I had to look at it as people, there is a feminine energy here that is codependent on you or your resources, or this, if it's not that, because I'm looking at how it's connected to these cards, it's like somebody who it's like somebody who's obsessively looking into you. Remember when I said earlier, I was like, if you have social media, you probably don't post a lot. Or like, you don't post a lot about like your personal life. Because like the things of value, the things that are important to you. You don't post a lot of stuff. You don't post a lot of content, or the content you do post is not really about like your personal life. So down here, this feels very personal. And I'm telling you, this person seems really butthurt because they're not really included in your life, or they're not, I don't know, but they watch your social media a lot. With somebody here, like, they watching your social media a lot. Now, remember, now we go back to this person over here. Remember when I said you got somebody here, because this is also connected to the person that's talking that has been talking shit about you. It's like somebody here trying to knock you off your square. Like, I don't know. What did I say 2 days ago? I was like, if somebody who has really been hell-bent on bringing you down a couple of notches, like, because they would love nothing more than to see you suffer, or they would love nothing more than to see you unhappy, because misery loves company. That's what this looks like over here. It's like, because you're in a really good space and like emotionally, like you appear to outwardly be happy, even though you're not. Like I said, you don't post a lot. You don't post a lot. All right. Like, that's clear. You don't post a lot. You're very private. But down here, it feels very much like somebody is really obsessed about, they're looking, why don't they worried about how you make your money or how much money you make? Because that's all right down here, this whole corner. All people can see is that you're happy, you're withdrawn, you're not really, you don't have a whole lot of stuff going on in your life, and you're not really tripping. But you got somebody down here that's like obsessively looking into or asking questions or wondering about how you make your money, what you do, how did you get to where you are. Like, they really worried about your life. Because there's something that has changed. And it's a positive change. Remember I said somebody here is not trying to knock you off your square, because now, like, it's like they feel like you brand new all of a sudden. Like down here, it feels like they feel like you feel that that's projection. So they feel like you brand new. So how do I bring the collective down a couple of notches? Because I don't really like the way the collective is moving. They don't like how you're moving because they see positive changes in your life. They don't like it because you keep to yourself. Look, I'm telling you. I said, you like learning. And you're being divinely guided. I absolutely love this. We've got the High Priestess in the top corner and the Hierophant at the bottom corner. Now, that's a counterpart. These are the High Priestess and the Hierophant are counterparts. So if you are partnered, I mean, folks, if I had to look at this, like if you are partnered, this one road, I mean, I have the Emperor and the Empress out here, but if I had to look at at this, just this one line right here, you and your partner are going into a new cycle, and people are on the outside looking in, because you two look like you're in sync with one another. You've matured, you've overcome a bunch of, you've overcome a bunch of hurdles in your life, especially as it's like you release the toxicity. There is such positive change. I love these cards. There's so much positive change here, and you just got somebody here who is just pissed off because you're doing something in a way that they wouldn't. Like, I would never do that. Okay, you don't have to. But and it's kind of funny because also what's being illuminated, and maybe this is in your own illumination, because the Hermit, maybe this is you and your perception of something. Like I said, you've been breathing life into a dead relationship or dead relationships for a while, right? And once you move past that and you actually like kind of go within and really think about it, whoever this and it's on the same line, whoever this person is that, like, has been kind of like questioning, how you make your money and all, they're very surface level or whatever. They want to actually appear to be somewhat, they want to be viewed as a leader. They want to be viewed as, the perfect family person and all this and that, right? But the reality is you are the true embodiment of the very person that they would like to be, but they are not. Like, you are viewed as a leader, you're viewed as very knowledgeable, you're viewed even as, you could even be considered as somewhat of a teacher. Like, people respect, like, when you got something to say, because like I said, you're a learner, you like to know shit, you learn stuff, and you like to share the information that you learn. So down here, you're trying to help other people blossom and grow and learn and all this and that. They want to be perceived the way that people perceive you. They would like to be perceived that way, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not. The way I'm looking at it, it's like is this the upright? Yeah, that is the upright. It's like you operate at a much higher vibration than this person. Uh-oh. The world is done. And it's about you have, like, again, down here, it's like, if you want to make a change and you want to see change in your life, just like I said when I dropped this card up here, if you want to see some change in your life, you have to be the change that you're looking for. It has to be the sun. I love it. It starts with you. And it starts with not just you, but it starts with your realization of that, with you having it, with all of this being illuminated to you. God is trying to show you in so many different ways, and it just requires you to pay attention to it and follow your intuition. Because I can see right here, you've been rejecting it left and right. Like, your intuition's been screaming at you and you keep rejecting it. And that rejection of your intuition causes the insides to start doing things. And that's when you start feeling crazy. It's because it's your nervous system screaming at you and trying to get your attention. That's your nervous system screaming at you. What I just say, you're not listening to your intuition. Now, damn. I don't know who these people are. And I have 3, because I don't look at the court cards. Or even the majors when they come out of people. I generally don't look at them as people. I just take the energy. But now it's screaming at me. You may have 3, 4 women. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if it's not 4 women, it could be 3, at least, at minimum. You may have 3 women in your energy who are, they are matriarch kind of energy, mothers, not your mother specifically, but people who could be mothers or just women who portray themselves as being such, who are not. They're not very good mothers, they're not very nurturing. These are like three people who spend a large amount of time worrying and focusing on things and people and situations that have nothing to do with them. And people in this energy, and this is the illumination, so there's something happening, but these are the kind of people who spend all of their time and energy focusing outward on everything and everyone that does not have any, like, they just focusing on shit that is not important. Meanwhile, their lives are imploding because they are not spending any time focusing on their own shit, being in command of their own lives. Definitely have people out here that don't have. It's funny because this is an energy of somebody wanting to be respected as a parental figure, but this person doesn't. They don't embody that energy. I don't know how to say that. I'm like, it's a lot. But I got three people out here. It could literally be one person. I could be talking about one person. But if I'm not, I'm talking about three people here who, and it could be, let's see. It could be, I don't know who these people are for you. I'm like, I don't know who these people are for you. But I'm looking at all the cards, and these are connections that you may be, creating some kind of distance or cutting them off completely. I don't know who these people are for you. It's like, I love you, but I love me more, and I'm gonna love you from a distance, like a great distance from over there. That ain't for everybody, but I can actually see that. And these are relationships that absolutely there are a couple of relationships that you have out here. Like I said, I don't know who these people are, but generally these are like mothering energies. But there are people, oh yeah, it's all connected. There are people here that you've outgrown them. And it's okay to admit when you've outgrown people. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not so much that they have changed. They haven't changed. You have. You have absolutely changed. And it's being seen. It is being seen. And for me, where they connect to the world cards, you've outgrown them. You've learned all the lessons that you needed to learn as it relates to being connected to these people. And it's time for you to like put something to rest. Because if you've been hoping, like down here when I'm looking at this area, it's kind of like if you've been hoping, it's like there are a couple of relationships where you have to finally admit to yourself that there's something in these dynamics, or the people, not even the dynamic, but the people, there's something in this dynamic. Like I said, you've changed, they have not. So this is about you coming to terms with the fact that now that you have evolved into the person that you are, remember, you can't take everybody with you. You can't. Because if you try to, what's connected to them is a lot of toxicity. And if that's not something you want to invite into the next leg of your journey, it's something that you're going to have to leave behind. Again, like I said, it could be, I got the Empress out here 3 times. So it literally could just be it could be just one person. Or it could be 3 people. But listen to your intuition, because your intuition's screaming at you right now. It's screaming at you. And you know what you need to do. Okay? Okay. All right, let's, because I have so many cards here, let's grab a stack of index cards. Let's pull all these back. Ooh. A Leo may be significant. Spirit says, open your doors and windows to refresh your home. You've humbled them all. Somebody is unemployed, losing a job and or a business. Spirit tested them and they failed. We have somebody who's codependent and needs support. Children are involved, yours or theirs. These are fated events, so it's meant to happen. This was everything, the way that it's playing out was meant to happen exactly the way that it is. Somebody acted foolishly in haste. Somebody can't keep their lies straight. They have an ever-changing story because somebody is a liar and a thief. Damn. Somebody's been trying to affect your third eye chakra, your intuition, or you haven't been listening to it. The exposure of somebody's sins. So something's coming out. Pretty little lies. Somebody thinks you don't deserve it. They're jealous of your life. An older woman may be significant. There's stolen money across from a liar and thief with acted foolishly. An Aquarius may be significant. Somebody's losing hope. We have meddling family members. The month of September may be significant. Could be dealing with a Virgo or a Libra. Forged signature on legal documents. Someone stalks your socials 24/7. You are chosen. God's chosen. You're unbothered as well. Love it. A stepbrother may be significant, or you could be a stepbrother. Someone's afraid to be alone. A brother is out here again. Meddling family members, brother. Okay. Somebody regrets getting involved. You prove them all wrong. Truths are being exposed. Somebody may be getting tarot readings on you. It's a toxic relationship. Releasing mental burdens for good. We love it. Again, forgery or falsification of records. So, by maybe a brother or a meddling family member. Using children. So, something about children. Somebody thought they could get away with it. Somebody says, I have more tricks up my sleeve. Sign of cancer may be significant, or somebody could have cancer. Somebody lies on the kids to them or about them. Again, kids. Kids are important. There's something about the kids here. So somebody, and like when it said lies about the kids, to lies to the children or about them, it could be even as something like somebody using children to pull on your heartstrings. You know what I mean? You maintain strong boundaries. Somebody's grieving the loss of you. Someone wants to tell you the truth. This is a blessing in disguise. Someone is experiencing bad luck or wanted you to experience bad luck. Remember I said they love nothing more than to see you like down bad, right? A Libra may be significant. Bless you. Somebody's losing material comforts. Somebody refuses to change. And Archangel Chamuel is out here for unconditional love and adoration, non-judgmental love. So very well could be family, because obviously family are the people that we love unconditionally. Yeah, there's that. All right, I'm not going to do the dates because we're already over an hour and a half in. Let's just do the dice and wrap. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, so we have the 4th house, family, roots. The 9th house, higher learning, expansion. 10th house, your public reputation. All right, then we have Mars, the moon, and is this Uranus? Uranus, Mars, moon. Uranus is sudden changes, right? Abrupt, sudden changes, ruled by Aquarius, the moon, Cancer, Mars, Scorpio, and Aries. We have Pisces out here, Cancer, and Gemini. Okay, remember 4th house, 9th house, 10th house, Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, Moon, Uranus, and Mars. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. If any parts of this reading resonate for you, gave you clarity or confirmation of your own story, give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm and get in front of the eyes that need to see us the most. If you'd like to book a personal more line with your own story, all of my information is below in the description box, and I invite you to join me for a session. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be advised of when I go live or post new content. I'm probably going to do at least one live before we wrap the end of the year. Maybe we'll do it at the end of the year, because we ain't doing nothing on New Year's Eve. So maybe I'll do a live on New Year's Eve and hang out with y'all. We'll bring in the new year together. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for all the likes, shares, subscribes, tips, donations, and super thanks, and the new bookings from new clients. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. Till next time. Take care.